All right, we're not going to mess around when it comes to this video. We're going to get straight into it, and we're going to start with the biggest question that everybody has had on their minds ever since they heard that a new Super Mario movie was coming out. Is it better than the 1993 live-action version? Yes. Is the Super Mario Bros. Movie good, though? Well, let's talk about that. This probably goes without saying, but seeing as how people got upset at me when I didn't give a proper spoiler warning at the beginning of some of my other review videos, it bears repeating. Hello, welcome. This is a review of an entertainment medium. As such, we will be speaking at length about the story. Therefore, there will be spoilers. Duh. Got it? Rad. Let's-a go. Boing. So what's the plot of the movie? Well, luckily for both of us, it's real straightforward. Mario and Luigi are brothers living in the real-life Brooklyn neighborhood in New York. They just started their new plumbing business, hijinks ensue, and they end up screwing up their first job. They go home dejected, the family teases Mario, and there's an opportunity for Mario to prove himself. Acting on this opportunity, both Mario and Luigi are transported to the Mushroom Kingdom, but are separated in the process. Mario meets Toad, Luigi is scared, Mario meets Peach, Luigi's captured by Bowser. Mario, Peach, and Toad all go off to ask the Donkey Kong family for help fighting Bowser. Oh, and Bowser has a superstar too, and he's going to show it to Peach so that she'll be impressed and want to marry him. Anyway, Mario and Donkey Kong fight, then they drive around Rainbow Road for a little bit, which is super epic. Mario and Donkey Kong get swallowed by an eel, they get free, then there's an epic showdown at Bowser and Peach's wedding. And during the fight, they all get transported back to Brooklyn. There's one last big fight, and both Mario and Luigi beat Bowser, and all is well. Time. How long did that take? Anyone who is going into this movie expecting some cinematic masterpiece of storytelling will be sorely disappointed. Partially because, well, A, it's an Illumination Studio film, the guys who made the Minions. Storytelling isn't exactly their strong suit. Mostly, though, it's a Mario movie. The story doesn't have to be super dramatic and complicated. That's what went wrong with the last one. My biggest issue with the story, though, was that for at least like the first 20-30 minutes or so, the movie moves at a breakneck speed. Once Mario hits the Mushroom Kingdom, he instantly meets Toad, they exchange very little dialogue, and then all of a sudden they're at Peach's castle. Then when Mario meets Peach, there's like 10 seconds before Peach is all like, alright, you can come help me fight Bowser. That's right, she goes to fight Bowser. Mario isn't the instigating one. Or at least the call to heroics. The story slows down once they set off to the Jungle Kingdom, but for like that first, 15, 20, 25 minutes, there's a lot crammed in there that happens, just one after another. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't address the real elephant in the room, and that has to do with the voice actors. Besides the obviously perfect roles like the Penguin King and Bowser, the rest of the cast fell into one of two categories. Okay, and kind of dull. Me personally, I would put Peach actress Anya Taylor-Joy and Luigi actor Charlie Day, and also Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, I'd put them at the higher end of the okay tier list. Anya Taylor-Joy I would actually probably rank up there with Jack Black's Bowser. Maybe Toad as well. It was weird hearing him play Toads, but he did a pretty good job. But Charlie Day specifically as Luigi, I also want to rank higher, but frankly, he just wasn't used all that much. Charlie killed it as Luigi, but outside of like the first 20 minutes, like before they get pulled into the Mushroom Kingdom, we don't really see him all that much. I guess that's the downside of being player 2. Shortly before the movie came out, though, there was an interview with Donkey Kong voice actor Seth Rogen, wherein Rogen admitted that he put very little, practically zero voice acting skill into his character, almost verbatim saying, if you want me to voice this character, you're gonna get me voicing the character.
I was very clear I don't do voices, and if you want me to be in this movie, he's gonna sound like me.
This caused a lot of discussion on the internet, as it started getting a lot of people to question why voice actors were going to voice characters if they weren't going to make an effort to actually bring those characters to life in a meaningful way. A few people actually became very frustrated with Rogen's seeming lack of care when it came to this role, seeming like he cared more about the paycheck than anything else. Some people even pointed to this as a reason that a lot of people don't go out to see movies with big actors anymore, because many times it seems like they hit a certain level of fame and then they just stop trying because it becomes a case of the product that they're trying to sell isn't actually their acting skills, it's their name recognition. It also didn't help that when the main cast dressed in Mario-themed outfits for the world premiere, Seth Rogen just showed up wearing the most basic-ass shit you can imagine. How you gonna do Anya and Jack dirty like that, my man? What the fuck? This was also on top of the larger issue with a lot of people when it came to Chris Pratt playing Mario. As when they first introduced this version of him, people were very divisive on whether or not this was a serviceable version of Mario. And some of the follow-up interviews that he didn't exactly help matters.
Growing up, man, I spent hours of my life stomping Koopas.
At the beginning of the movie, right after Bowser invades the Ice Kingdom, we get to see the full version of the Super Mario Bros. Plumbing commercial that we saw a few months before the film's debut. In it, Mario puts on a voice much closer to what fans would be expecting compared to the game series, showcasing that Pratt could, in fact, have brought forward a much better voice compared to the one that we got. However, when I saw this part of the movie, another thought ran through my mind. Clearly, this was an intentional move by both the writers as well as Nintendo. If they wanted Mario to have a more stereotypical, cartoonish voice for the film, they absolutely could have gotten that kind of range out of Pratt. The fact that they didn't, though, showcases something that I think requires deeper contemplation. In an ever-changing animation landscape where more and more media directed at children tries to paint with a more realistic brush, goofy and hyperactively voiced characters are starting to fade away. Yes, there are still plenty of slow-mo scenes, wacky voices, and silly character archetypes. However, with this scene, it felt more like the writers were saying that the funny voices that used to be used more often in cartoons were just a way of drawing in attention. It may have been a commentary on the larger conversation around Chris Pratt's portrayal of Mario in the movie, maybe not. If Mario is supposed to be this more realistic and believable character in the world that the film is set in, having a goofy Italian accent is going to start to drag after about 20 or so minutes, and will make some of the more serious moments in the film feel a bit less impactful. Or maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. All in all, though, while I did have some issues with the pacing and seeming lack of involvement when it came to some of the voice acting, the film in total was still a very enjoyable watch, as both a fan of the original Mario games as well as just a fan of movies in general. If I had to rank this movie out of 10, I'd probably get like a 7, maybe 7.5, something like that. It's still a movie for kids, so, there's some parts that are a little cheesy and kind of goofy, but it's still a beautifully realized viewing experience, and when you combine all the voice actors together, they overall do a pretty decent job of making the characters enjoyable to watch. Even though I had issues with Mario and Donkey Kong's voices, it didn't detract from being able to enjoy the film as a whole. Hopefully, for when the second movie comes out, because Nintendo isn't going to pass on an opportunity to make more money, pacing gets a little better, and both Pratt and Rogen are given more opportunities to, at the very least, flex their emotional acting skills, because it's very clear they have zero interest in changing up their tone. Also, at the end of the movie, the Mario grabbed Bowser's tail and swung him around and threw him like in Mario 64. That was epic. But he didn't call him Gay Bowser, so that kind of took some of the realism out of it for me. So long, Gay Bowser. But hey, those are just my thoughts, and now I'm interested to hear yours. I went to see the movie on the 5th when it initially came out, so if any of you saw it over the weekend, let me know what you thought down in the comments. Until next time, though, I thank you all so much for watching, like and subscribe and stuff, and I will see you all out there in the wasteland.